Jai Hind, Namaskaram. Welcome to another episode of RV with RR. This episode features Colonel CN Reddy, or I don't know, you can call him Dr. CN Reddy, a man with many facets. And the trigger for this Zoom meeting is the award that he received on 25th January, wherein he was felicitated and awarded True Legend Heroes Beyond Duty Award for Social Service, School Children and Slum Dwellers category by GOC, Telangana and Andhra Saveria. So it's not that I didn't know about, because if you recollect last year in the Foundation Day meeting, and in my speech, I had covered what social service you are doing. Anyway, so start, sir. I'll leave it to you to introduce yourself first, and then move on, and specifically we'll talk about the social work you're doing, and rest we'll move on to other things slightly later.
Okay.
Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ravi. Jai Hind, everyone. It's really wonderful that I am being connected to all of you by Colonel Ravindra. I am CN Reddy. Now, in the parlance outside, they address me as Colonel Dr. C. Narendra Reddy, having done my doctoral degree in human rights education. A little about my school days. I passed out in 1975 as the school captain, and we are celebrating our golden jubilee of passing out this year. I served for 25 years and then left the army voluntarily in 2004. Ever since, I've been working and spending time with educational institutions and, of course, doing social service intermittently and simultaneously. I last served as the rector and professor of management practice at an engineering college in Hyderabad, as recently as 2024. I'm now engaged with a coaching academy as its mentor, apart from involving with my basic passion of serving the needs of school-going children of government schools in the rural areas. I recently received an award, like Colonel Ravi had just mentioned, sponsored by Seagram's 100 Pipers to honor veterans who have been contributing to the society beyond the call of their duty. I was among the six who were felicitated by the General Officer Commanding TASA on 25th of January last. This award was for my work with the school children and the slum dwellers. In fact, the first time that the local military authority has initiated such a felicitation to honor veterans, and it was wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I think this is a good trend, because even on this Army Day parade, 5 people from all over the country were felicitated for their contribution as veterans to the society. So one of them was my course mate from Manipur, Colonel L.M. Singh. So for the wonderful work that he had done in Manipur for ex-servicemen, and also after the recent unfortunate incidents. So it's a good trend. Probably from that, the TASA would have picked up this particular. It's a good thing in any case. I think it's for you to recognize. Okay, now going back, how did the idea of this start? I think you started in 2015, right?
Maybe 12, I should say.
Yeah, 12. Okay. So how did the idea start that you should do something for the school children?
Yeah, actually, it was prompted by a ground level worker when I was director in AP State Resource Center for Adult Education. It's a Government of India project. I was director there during 2007-9. She just came up and said, "Sir, there is a need here. You may not know. So, can you sponsor some uniforms and some notebooks and all?" At that time, the government was not supplying uniforms to the government school children. So, that was way back in 2006. 7, I said. So, during 7, 9, I did that. Then, there was a gap because I had to move to Guntur to establish the Vignan University at Vadlamudi. Then 2010, I came back to Hyderabad. Then time moved on, and 2012, I started visiting my village. It's in Jangam district of Telangana, where I found that which I had earlier seen during 2007-9. So I thought I must connect to the children at least of my village and my area. So I went back and started seeing. I saw, you will not believe, I saw children so short in class 7, so thin. I mean, then I found out that most of them are coming empty stomach. They don't have anything to eat in the morning. So that's how it started off. Then we started giving them biscuits in the morning from our family trust. Then I moved on to making it bananas, not the biscuits, because banana being a wholesome food. And it continued for some time until about 2019. Then in 2020, I got in touch with a Bangalore-based trust called the Annapoorna Trust by Satisai organization, and they were already out. I mean, doing this for a number of school children across the country. So we requested them to come over. By that time, they started their inroads into Telangana. Then, fortunately, we got them over to our district headquarters, and we had a chat with the DEO, and that's how, for the first time in Telangana, one complete district, that is Jangam district, started receiving the morning nutrition supplement provided by the Annapoorna Trust. So, and that continues now, and fortunately for the children, and really so, the whole state, the complete state, about 18 lakh, 1.8 million children of Telangana are now getting morning nutrition Ragi Malt drink supplied by the Annapoorna Trust. And it goes on. So
And
that's,
and other than that, the normal midday meals as it is are provided by the government, right?
that goes on. The
Yeah,
midday meal scheme is there. It's been there for long years.
yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and another thing also, I think your family trust is also involved in distributing, the books and stationery items to the children.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, can you just elaborate on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. What I found when I mentioned that in 2007-9 we started off with notebooks and uniforms, but for a small number in a particular school. So I then checked it when I started out a little intricately in my village and the mandal. The textbooks are given by the government, and the notebooks are not supplied by the government till last year where they started up. So I started giving out notebooks to my village first, and then spread to another 5 villages, and now to the whole mandal. On an average, a child needs about 6 to 8 notebooks for the complete year. So we are now taking care about 3,000 children requiring notebooks for the complete year, and with the support of friends and well-wishers. For the last 2 years, we have been doing it for 3 mandals, approximately counting to 10,000 children in a year. Yeah, that's it. That's the notebooks thing that's going
And
on.
I think you spend about 6 lakhs, some such amount.
Yeah, I shouldn't have been talking about the amount
No, no,
spent.
no, no.
Because
I disagree on that. It's important also because, I mean, the scale is what is also important, that everyone should know how much of this thing is also being spent on that. And not for boasting purposes, just for food.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on an average, it costs me about 5 to 6 lakhs a year, and that's been happening for about a decade. I shouldn't say that, but it's been that, and a few more thousands come from friends and my classmates and other well-wishers. So very comfortably, it's happening. And if I count the number of, I must have spent about 5 to 6 thousand man hours during the last 10 years in this activity.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's excellent. I mean, and yeah, so I mean, we hope and pray that you continue the great charity work that you have been doing so far, and probably expand it to the extent possible, so that more children can benefit, or they can get more benefits.
No, yeah, yeah. I would love to do that, but somebody was asking how far you would want to go in this. And I was saying, actually, it's not very big for the government to take on what I am trying to do. Maybe distribution of notebooks or this morning nutrition program. Actually, already the Annapoorna Trust has taken over. But somehow it doesn't happen. I don't know. But I will surely want to expand, provided I get a little more support. But because from my own side, I think I cannot go beyond what I am
Yeah,
doing now.
yeah, no, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, now just moving, taking a step back. So I mean, it's very interesting that you not only did your post graduation, you did your MBA, and then you did your doctorate. So where does this thirst for education and qualification come from?
Yeah, I should tell you this. Actually, it's not again about telling my own self. I was a topper at school. You know that.
Yeah.
And I did reasonably quite well in both the academies, and then joined up the infantry Mahar regiment of my own choice because of being a little high in the merit, and donned the OGs with a lot of gusto. And I went for my first course in Belgaum, where I did very well. In fact, I was doing quite well, and those days my course mates would stand by me. I was actually heading to top the commando course. They give a dagger and all that. That was going on, and suddenly I fell down and got hurt and couldn't do the last part of the course, where in the normal course they would call back a candidate or a young officer to do it, to repeat that course. But I was not called because I was very, very high in the marks list, and that's how. And then the journey of my medical issue started off, and then I went through a surgery and this, that, and all. And I didn't lose hope or my spirit to do good. But then I knew that one day, because of my medical issue, I would have to leave the army. So soon enough, in the 6th year itself, I started out with my academic pursuits, because I come from an academic family. My late father was a professor. My wife, I incidentally retired as a professor of education. She is also a doctorate in education. So that's why I took on this and used all my annual leaves and all my free time to do correspondence course and evening course and all that. And that's how it started off. And I got those 4 5 postgraduate degrees, and culminated the whole thing with a doctoral work in human rights education out of my own interest and passion. And soon after that, I left the army.
So in your during your study leave, you did MBA, right?
No, I during my study leave, I did a master's in human resource management.
Yeah, I mean, like all equivalent to
Yeah,
your MBA. Yeah.
yeah.
So okay, and post that you did your uh,
Doctor, PhD.
doctorate and as well as the
Yeah.
okay, that's great. So I mean, kudos to you for your academic pursuits.
I
Okay, just going back further to school. So, what were the circumstances that you joined school?
yeah. It was in 1968. My father was posted as a lecturer in one of the colleges in Nalgonda.
Okay.
And then the then principal, Commander Seth, I believe, I recollect, I think he was
Yeah.
touring all the
Mhm.
touring all the district headquarters, propagating the concept of the Sainik School, and eliciting interest from parents to send their sons to the school. And my father was there, then then it followed on, and then he coached me for about 5 6 months, and that's how I wrote the exam. I went to, I think, Guntur to write the examination. And for one day, I think I remember having taken a small 1 day, 5 6 7 hours coaching in that CVM Dhans Institute. I wrote, I passed, and then I was in the school in 1969 in class 6.
Okay. So, can you tell me one odd incident which had an influence on your life or your career, or which has influenced quite a lot?
I,
You
I,
can recollect. Yeah.
yeah. I'll just tell you a small thing. I joined in 1969, and the next year, my father pushed my younger brother also into the school, and I was not good in mathematics. So when my father came late after I joined up the school from the leave for the second year, that is class 7, my father came in to admit my younger brother. And that admission process and all went out. But something was burning in my mind, and suddenly I burst out and cried in front of him. I said that I don't want to stay in the school. He was shocked. He said, "Why? Maths is very difficult for me. I can't do this maths, and I don't want to." Then he didn't know what to do. He just joined, admitted my younger brother, and then here I am doing this. He just took me to Vijayanagaram. Just he made me go around some shops here, there, bought something for me, came back. He made me sit and said, "Okay, fine. If you want to go back, I can't force you. We are from a poor family. You have spent 1 year. If I take you out, I have to pay the whole fees for 1 year. And okay, I'll go back. We have some agricultural land in the village. I'll sell it off and then take you back. And I'll see if your brother Upenda wants to stay on, or if you not, I'll do." Then 1 hour after that, I said, "No, no, no. I'm not going back. You're not going back to sell anything. I'll stay on." And it and the rest is history. I stayed on, and I I tried my best to cover up my weakness in mathematics, which again I should connect another thing about the mathematics in class 8. This was class 7 beginning. Class 8, I failed in mathematics in the quarterly test, and but still with total marks were highest in the class.
Mm.
So the then mathematics teacher Ramarao Garu, late our Ramarao Garu, called me. Just took me into his lap and said, "See, there is a glass of milk here. It's pure milk, but there's one drop of poison. Just spoil the milk. But
Mm.
don't worry, you will do well." So then I used to take special classes from him and all that. Somehow I made up, and I moved on, and of course, rest is all there to see. I finished my higher secondary examination. Out of the five subjects, I got very high marks in all the four, including a distinction in English. The only second distinction in the school
Okay.
after Taco. I
Uh,
think I don't know if people have got any more.
mm.
And I just managed to pass this. So I think this maths business, this issue of my father pushing me and Ramarao Garu calling me up and saying it's all right, you'll do well. Put me onto my tracks, and then that zeal to do well and excel. And my father used to write letters to me after that, so that I am comfortable. And with that, every time you should do well, do well. So that doing well pushed me. And I think, if I recollect, I was only serious student, playing all games, doing everything, debate, declamation, everything I have to do. I want to do because my father said I should do the best, and somehow it worked out, and it's all there.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, yeah, coming to the next thing. So, in what way you think school has been an influence in later years?
Yeah, life at school. If I recollect back, like I just mentioned, it was all happy, good childhood memories, playing and all, because one was busy playing, busy studying, and eating well, and looking after the health, and doing everything possible. I was into athletics, I was playing games, then I was trying to study. So it was all busy, but that aim to excel and do well continued. That's why I feel all that amount of push one was getting out of out of the that enthusiastic attitude was great. I was friends with many people. My seniors groomed me quite well. There were a lot of people I shouldn't name, because one or two, there are people who helped us and pushed us, and really it was a great thing. And it was all great. I have all the praise for my school, the teachers, my classmates, seniors, and the whole environment. And it was all great. It was all great. I think that grooming has just brought us up here for whatever we are today worth of.
Okay, so 20, how many? 24 years in the army?
No, 25 years.
25
I,
years in the army and 20 years outside.
exactly 20 years outside. It's so I'm just wanting to put in that 5 more years, and then say, okay, I'm not. I mean, like, no more to do. I'll just, I have just 5 years more to do all that which is still left for me to do.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
25 and 20.
so that brings to the next point. What next?
Yeah. Uh, See, I keep sending out small little messages to ministers and here, there, and some MLCs whom I know, saying that, the situation with, I'm only mostly concerned with the school children, that too from the school poor families, because I feel children are one community who have no voice. They just know that what is happening is now is what is their world. They don't know what is the best and what is good bad. If you go to my village or any of these rural villages where government schools are running, children are very active, very smart. They are naturally talented, but the real environment of the school, it's not criticizing the big ground. I mean, big area. A high school has got large area, but not so well maintained. Good accommodation, not so well maintained. And then this problem of toilets is actually there. uh, anyway, so my desire is that I must uh, ensure that actually I must connect one thing. You said what next. My desire is that the children should get morning breakfast, not morning nutrition program of that one glass of Ragi Malt. No, I feel one, because myself, I visited NIN 3 to 4 times during 2014-15. I got a letter onto me addressed by the scientists there, not the director, stating morning breakfast is the most important meal for a human, especially for children, because their metabolism is at rest for about 10 hours. And for the metabolism to kickstart in the morning and start learning or being attentive, something has to go in and get converted into glucose and come to the mind, come to the brain, which is missing actually. So this morning hunger has to be addressed in this country, in this state, in this district, in these villages. That's my dream. I'm working out, rating to these people, that people. If that happens in these 5 years, which I said, I'll just be happy, and whatever little else I can do, I'll continue to do. And these notebooks issue also, I think in the next year, this coming year, on the next year, government should be taking on what I have heard from people. So I'll feel that yes, all that is needed for a child to be happy, healthy, and good learning environment will happen. That's the desire and dream.
Okay. On that note, thank you very much, sir, for this Zoom meeting, and I hope we have been able to do justice to all the good work that you are doing for the society, and hope and pray that you continue the great job that you have been doing so far.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Thank you
Ravi.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye,
very
sir.
much. Bye. Thank you.